Okay, welcome back everybody to episode 2 of That's a Wrap for 2025. So we have just got into the end of term 2 and we thought it would be a cool, just tradition just to talk about everything that happened in the term. This is really cool for people who are looking in and wondering what happens at Ready and Fire on a day-to-day basis. But it's also really cool for our students to have something to look back on, some memories and some funny stories. So yeah, welcome guys. Okay, so I think it would be a good place to start off. So this term was, like Letty said, lots of projects. So how it kind of works is the first term, the students are learning a lot of theory. They're learning a lot about how cameras work, how media works theoretically. And then term 2, we just jump straight into putting that into practice and then repeating it again and again. So I think it would be great to talk about maybe starting off with video editing. How do you guys feel now stepping into an editing suite like Premiere Pro for the first time? How did you feel when you first opened the program? And then how do you feel now and what have you enjoyed about the program?
I obviously stayed at the digs and I saw like guys working in Premiere Pro like that used to be in RAF. And I remember looking at it and being like, oh my goodness, this is so high grade and so like overwhelming. I would never be able to understand this. But like now I just feel like, how could you not understand it? Like it's so easy to just go in and it's so fun. So it was really cool to see how something I thought was daunting and would be very hard to understand was actually so easy to understand and so well explained during the course, which was sick.
Cool. Letty, what do you think about editing?
I think Premiere Pro wise, all I can say is not the same as CapCut. It's easy. It's more difficult. It's more like it gives you a broader option. Like gives you broader options to edit. And for me, I found it very nice with the videos we're editing, even the baking with Tamsin. I really enjoyed editing.
Tano?
Yes, sir. I feel like my fingers had a cramp at the beginning of the term. I was like, bruh, how do I even remember coming to you and then asking you like, hey Jam, how do I? And I was like, bruh, it's gonna be like explaining the whole thing, you know. But I did like it. I enjoyed it. It made me love. Editing. The whole crunching and taking like 25 minutes video into 5 minutes. Like, oh my gosh. But yeah, I liked it.
So I think that's cool. You guys touching on learning how to take so much footage and cut it down into a story. So you guys worked on documentaries.
Yes, sir.
So Sophie, maybe do you want to tell us like what was the documentary project like? What story did you tell? And how did you find finding a story in so much footage?
So my group did Erin and Tarquin's testimony, and yeah, it was a big adjustment from previous projects. I think I definitely learned a lot from it, but it was really cool to kind of work with Erin and Tarquin and kind of really delve into someone's testimony. And yeah, I think I learned a lot of hard lessons through it, like getting more B-roll is very important. More is more is definitely a lesson I've learned. And yeah, I think working with others in a team, I think my teamwork skills were greatly improved on. And yeah, it was really cool and yeah, I really enjoyed it.
So with the documentaries, maybe do you guys want to talk about you were on the same team for Faith's testimony? Yeah, how was that process for you, in a sense, finding out about his story, documenting it? I know at one point you said it felt like you were being more impacted. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Do you want to tell us, what was that journey like? How was the story?
Go first. For me, at first, I went in thinking that we're only going to shoot, get everything done, then leave. But we went in for shooting, started conversation, and I think each member of my team took away something from not only her story, but from our conversation that we had. And I feel very honored being able to document her testimony, not only for her, but for people out there in the world to just listen to her story and just be able to see that God is good. And yeah.
Yeah. For me, I'd say it was a gem. We had like snacks, and she baked cookies for us, which was kind of cool. And I guess with what Letu said, with getting more than what we thought we were gonna get. Like, I mean, we did go there. We did like go shoot, but like after we spent like 2 hours or an hour after the shoot and just yapping with Mama Faith and just getting so much wisdom from the both of them, which was really cool. And I don't know, right? Like it made me fall in love with like doing what I was doing, like the documentaries, and seeing how I can like tell people stories. And it was so beautiful. Like, tell people stories and see, like, be more impactful. I don't know if I'm giving the right words, but be more impactful and like tell stories, other people's stories.
Cool. And then thinking, like, obviously those videos have gone out into the world. You know, they were maybe like your first proper testimony videos. What have you heard from people about the work that you put out? Like when they watch the videos, and I don't know if you've read like some of the YouTube comments and stuff, but like, have you been encouraged to see how your work has carried such like an impact and an encouragement? Yeah. Who wants to maybe comment on that?
I'll start. I think I was very encouraged. I remember this girl at church, like she was like, "Yo, Tando, I saw you guys, your testimony you had from Mama Faith," and I started crying. I was like, "Wow." Like, I mean, I didn't. I thought, it was a great story, and I was making like a documentary. But then when like I receiving feedback and like how it impacted other people, it made me, because it was not just one person, and like people just kept on approaching like, I felt very encouraged, and hearing Mama Faith's story, my faith got boosted up. It was like, it was very encouraging.
What was maybe one thing that you guys learned that was really tough, but you came through? Maybe Luke, do you want to talk about your story?
Your story is crazy. Singling it out.
Your team's story.
No, I think something our team realized was, the importance of like pulling the person you're working with into your vision. I think we had vision, we had plans, we had ideas, we were excited, but then there was like almost like this small disconnect from our side of like we're having all of these ideas, and then like not communicating that with the party we're working with, and that caused some interesting situations. But it was cool to see how even in that, like the Lord created a space for us to just go in, apologize for where we fell short, and find each other again, and go from there. It wasn't like a lost cause, which was really cool to even then come out of it not feeling like that you've failed, but that even though you'd fallen short, you've come out learning a valuable lesson and still being able to give your best to the project.
Nice. Yeah, I think it was a great learning for you guys, just to, in a sense, go out in a project and maybe deviate from like where a client's ideas and expectations were, and then have to come, like, in a sense, and humble yourself again. It takes a lot of courage to do that. But do you think, like, when you guys leave from here one day in the future, do you think you'll ever forget that project and the things you learned?
No. I think it was like a very hopeful thing of like I'm thinking like the good way to put it. Like, man, like you can get so excited for a vision, but you have to hold it lightly. Like it's as excited as you are to put this thing in. If it's not what the client wants, you gotta scrap it. You gotta pivot. And I think it was helpful to learn that lesson now of holding ideas lightly, and if the client doesn't like it, well then, man, you've got to figure out something else. I think initially it was very like not discouraging to be like, oh, we have this cool idea, think of something else, and you're like, we have nothing left. But then to finally go find that thing that they like, it's like, oh, but now it's like this gem, and you're like, this works so much better than all the other ideas. So it's cool to see how like the hard work of pushing through and finding and getting to know what your customer wants is so helpful.
Right, and so it's so easy to like get very like drained on the project. I know firsthand. I've experienced it. It's very easy to get drained, especially when you get easily discouraged. And it's like not easily discouraged. I don't get easily discouraged, but when that because it was my first time experiencing that, and like clients saying like, okay, cool, I see you. Okay, cool. Let's do something else. And then it happens again. And like he said, like miscommunication and stuff. And it's like, it gets very like, like draining. And it's like, okay, cool. Yes, Lord, give me strength. I need strength. And it was a great learning curve.
Yeah, I think this term was one of the biggest overarching lessons that I think every team learned. Was it's not how you start, but how you finish. So, yeah, good job, guys. I think let's get the next guys on. But thank you for your time. And yeah, let's get the next group. Okay, cool. All right, welcome to our next panel. It's nice to have you guys here.
Good to be here.
Austin's got a very different haircut from the last. That's a wrap. It's there on the screen. Check.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But yeah, nice to have you guys. A little bit older, a little bit more experience. Just quickly, maybe, Aya, how was term 2 for you in a nutshell? How are you feeling this side of term 2?
Wow, I think it was interesting. I think I've grown a lot. In the start of term 2, things would frazzle me, like my schedule being messed up. But like my last project that I just did, our schedule was just off, but we still managed to finish without me losing my mind. So I think I've grown.
Nice, that's great news. Keaton, how are you feeling at the end of term 2?
I'm excited for the holiday, honestly. It was quite a good term. Honestly, I love the term. There was a lot of stuff happening, a lot of video, which was quite sick. But I feel ready for the holiday, pretty much.
Nice. Nate?
I could do like 2 more projects this time.
Yeah.
No. It was a lot of fun, but it was a lot of tough work. So yeah, I'm glad I've gotten that experience. It was good to work with people and see their stories and then be able to tell it. And then also, the music video was very fun to do. Late nights, but I enjoyed it a lot.
Cool. Austin?
No, this term was really, really fun. I enjoyed every second of it. It was just really fun to actually start doing video projects because it's something I always wanted to tap into. So yeah, I'm a bit sad it's over, but I'm the opposite where everyone's like, oh, I'm excited for holidays. I'm like, I want to do more.
Nice. That's why everyone wants you in their team. It carries the energy. Thanks, so yeah, let's talk about the music videos. So I think let's start off with Naomi's music video. The 3 of you guys were in the same team. So tell us about the process, about the creative ideation when you guys are coming up with ideas. How was that process? How was it changing those ideas? And the actual production of it. What did you guys enjoy?
I loved our first thought idea, even though it was sucked. But I liked how we wanted to do something completely different to what we actually went with, and we wanted to do story based. So then we started thinking okay, what can we do? And then you gave an idea, and then we were like, okay, cool. How will we technically get this right? Try and perfect it. And then I think I enjoyed that a lot, working together and trying to think of something. Doing a lot of research. Thank you, Aya, for that. But we thought of something, and then executing that was a lot of work, a lot of hard work, but it was a lot of fun, and I did enjoy that. Yeah.
Nice. So Aya, how was it for you coming up with ideas? The song was kind of had a bit of a love story vibe to it, and I think as you were just hearing the song and thinking, your first thought ideas went one way, and then how did you feel having those ideas changed and seeing the outcome?
I think when I heard the song, a story started playing in my head. It was almost obvious that this is it's crazy. This is exactly what we're gonna do. This is how we're gonna tell the story, and it's gonna be good. And I didn't understand why you didn't want us to do a narrative because the song was a story. But I think when I started seeing with the idea that you pitched to us, I started seeing that we can make a little bit of a story through that I think I was more hopeful. I think in the end, I'd like to say I got what I wanted. Like the video that we did is simplistic and like, but it does have like a good story. And I enjoyed it. I genuinely enjoyed it. I think now that I'm looking back, my wheelbarrow idea up a hill was terrible. The trailer idea was terrible. I'm happy with what you went for, and I'm glad you like pivoted us.
Nice.
Yeah.
You got that mirror shot at the end.
Yeah, I got my mirror shot. That's the story.
Nice.
That's the moment.
Nice. So if you haven't seen that music video, guys, go check it out and look out for Aya's mirror shot. But yeah, what did you guys maybe just explain? Like, how was the technical point of that music video fun for you? Like, it was a bit of a step out of documentaries and more into like a set environment, you know, where you are ticking off a shot list and you problem solving, and it's a bit more of less of like videography and actually more cinematography, you know, where you're crafting your lights and using projectors and stuff like that. How was that technically for you? Like, did you enjoy that part of it?
Yeah, I think technically it was quite a lot of fun. Like just trying to it was like kind of solving a puzzle, because like we filmed the music video at night, so we had to like make like basically like create our own light sources and stuff. We couldn't like be focused on the sun because the sun is like out of commission at night. So.
Only that night.
Only that night.
Only that night. Every time we want to film at night, it's always out of commission.
Yeah.
So,
You heard it here first.
So yeah, it was just a lot of fun to try and like just figure out like how we were gonna light the scenes, how we were going to like bring actors in, how we were going to actually like make Naomi and all the other actors comfortable while we were like filming, because that was one thing back in my mind where it was like we want to make a really cool video, but we also want to make sure that they're comfortable and that they're happy to be there. So we're just serving them, giving them like sorting out snacks for them, drinks and stuff, where they could even just sit here in the class and just chat a bit and just like get friends and stuff. I mean, I just feel we made some really good connections there. So it was just really cool.
I think our whole music video was sick. You guys should go watch it. It was also like a lot of like last time minute, like figuring out what we want to do. But then, yeah, we wake up very early, went out to different start and railing thingy. So we start shooting, like we wake up like at 5, we went at 5 o'clock, and then we start like shooting from that time the whole day till like 11, I think. Yeah, it was such a cool time to spend time with Craig, because it was such a fun project to work on. So yeah, I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I think the music videos were, you know, like a project where you can just express yourself and just have fun. And I think you guys all really just enjoyed every moment of that.
Yeah, just breaking the rules was perfect.
Breaking the rules, yeah, which is cool. After that, we took a break and we went to the beach on the Sacramento Trail. How did you guys find that experience?
Very refreshing, I'd say. Like, I think it's good to know that when it's like project week or like we're in class, we call to do the grinding and the working hard. But when we rest and we get like a full team day, we get to just be and like go out into the mountains for like a whole day. And it wasn't even like a hectic hike. It was like a beautiful scenic walk, sitting by the rocks and just chatting, yapping about the silly stuff that we did during projects and having snacks. I think that was quite nice, like quality time with each other. Yeah, I quite enjoy it. I like the work-life balance.
Nice. What was your favorite memory of term 2?
I did like Michael's dad's testimony after we released it, and just the impact it made. I really enjoyed just seeing it get into the world, you know, to honor the Lord and, you know, what he did in his life. So yeah, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, and what came about from that testimony, like the impact even on YouTube, but tell us a little bit about the impact once that story was actually published.
So I think it got a lot of traction, and I think Kingfisher FM like saw that and they were like, okay, we want to interview this guy, and then it got like just, you know, it honored the Lord in that, you know, you got to tell like what the Lord did in his life and how it healed him, how the Lord healed him. And I thought that was really cool, yeah.
Yeah, nice. That's a good memory. Anyone else, Austin?
Yeah, for me, it's a very difficult because I know I enjoyed all of it. Like I really enjoy video and editing and stuff. It's something I really do enjoy a lot. So I think the one probably the most impactful was Mama Faith's testimony. Working on that and just doing some really just getting to know Mama Faith and also yeah, and then just after, like, similar to Nathan, just seeing the impact that it's made, like, people, like, I realized how it touched people, like, inside, and it was just, like, really, I didn't realize that stuff we could make, and it was just really, I think it really inspired me.
Nice.
So, yeah.
I think for me, like the last project, our brand film, was quite like such a cool, not just a cool story, but just to see like our team work like on a Smile Foundation. Even it was quite hard working on the project, but like I feel like it was such a impactful moment because we went out to shoot at the hospital, and then we just work with these children. That's like doesn't really have like the privilege that we have. In a sense, like a lot of the children have like burn marks or like cleft lips or stuff like that. And then just to see what the Smile Foundation do for them to make like life much like easy for them. So I feel like even day one when we went to the hospital just to look where I feel like I just got like a lot of like emotion just to be in the environment and just to see the like kids there running around and stuff like that. So I think like definitely the brand film was like such a big highlight for me, I think. Yeah.
Aya.
It's hard to choose. I think I have favorite moments from all the projects that we did because they were so great. Like the like sweet moments for each project. Like for Naomi's music video, the night we sat till late, deciding what stays and what goes out of the edit. Like that, like collaboration of just sitting together and making decisions together. And then with Mama Faith, like just sitting and being in her kitchen while she bakes, and she's asking us all these questions like a granny, like your own personal granny. And then with Smile, being there with the children and being in theatre and having like the doctors be so compassionate and warm towards us. And then also seeing Tanya's face at the end when she was like, I love this video, like knowing that we've served her well. I think what I like about what we get to do in Radiant Fire is like the people and how we like put smiles on their faces. And for us, it's like, it's project week, but for them, it's like, you guys did you blessed me. And yeah, I think I really enjoy that.
I think that's a great way to end the segment. Thanks, Aya. Okay, thanks guys. Good job.
Thank you so much.
All right, the last panel of the day. I don't know how you guys are always on the same panel, but the bomb squad. The bomb squad is here. So maybe let's just start off. You guys can just think about term 2. I know it feels like maybe it's gone quick, but it's actually been our longest term. So Molly, what was and while Molly thinks, or while he speaks, you guys can think as well. What was a highlight for you of term 2?
A highlight for me of term 2 was we were quite busy, so I didn't have to sit next to Thurston all the time.
Hi, boy. That's crazy.
I'm joking. Definitely the music video. That one,
Nice.
definitely the highlight.
Alex?
My highlight was probably doing Uncle Martin's testimony, or like rather seeing the fruitfulness of it and like everybody's reactions to it and how everybody was supporting.
Very cool.
I sit on the other side of Thurston, so I wasn't not sitting next to him.
Thurston, bro.
No, just
the nicest guy here. Guys, Thurston bought Molly that jersey for his birthday 2 days ago. It's so nice.
No.
And he's getting rigged.
And he still like asked me to hang out with him after class as well. So
Yeah.
No, but to be honest, I think Prince being here, shout out Prince. But wow, he was here and he shared his testimony on holiday. Or he was here on holiday and he shared his testimony with us, and it was just such a powerful and like fruitful time. So that was definitely a highlight.
yeah, I think shame. I think my highlight was definitely the music video as well, and also just the teams that I think I was a part of. Like I think just so much better like dynamic that I think we've built, and just knowing what everyone's strengths were, and I think we didn't have any problems at all. Like with just like team dynamic, that was like really fun.
Nice. So yeah, one key thing that happened in the term that Emma actually just reminded us of, it was we had Prince here from City on the Hill Church, which is really awesome. And he was actually here on holiday, but the one morning we asked him just to come share his testimony with the guys. And I think we started at like 8 a.m. I think we ended up at like 11. And it turned into like just an amazing time of worship. I think most of us were just in tears, like just listening to like what God had done in his life, and I think it deeply moved us. Yeah, maybe quickly, does anyone want to comment on that? Molly, do you want to comment? I think we're quite impacted by that story.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a cool story. It just reminded me how often we can harden our hearts to like people coming in from even different walks of life, and actually just looking at them as a normal person, actually not seeing what the Lord has done in their life and celebrating that. So it was really cool.
Nice. Yeah, I think like all in all, like I think this term was a lot of projects, but it was also a lot of people, you know, working with clients, working on projects, you know, that like you need to like, in a sense, come and apologize to clients, like with that one team, you know, like all these things, they shape us and mold us, and they show us that there's so much more than just the work we're doing, but it's the people behind the work. And maybe do you guys want to comment on that through different projects you worked on? Like what was something you learned that was valuable, not like technical? You know, so like not valuable, like I can edit in Premiere Pro, but what was like a character thing you learned in term 2 that was valuable for you?
Yeah, I think beginning of the year really like Jem, you taught us like people matter. And I think that's one thing that I think I could definitely see like this term, where it's not actually about the project or anything. It's more like you're like, how am I actually valuing this person? Am I actually valuing their time? Am I actually valuing them wanting to partner with me and also my team as well? And the project can come after. Like, I think that's one thing that I actually thought about, like even like this week as well, where it's like, that's actually one area that I think me and my team actually lacked in, where we were like, like we haven't actually valued this person as we were meant to be.
Sure. Nice.
Definitely just learning how to come under the people you're working with, and just seeing like, or learning how to value and respect their time above ours. And like in the midst of the project, it's like we need to get this done, we need to film this, do this, but more importantly, like we're doing this to serve them. And like they're on a timeline, like they have their own work, their own lives. So just like honestly respecting that and like sitting back and going, we will get this done, they want it, and just not being like, we need to do this now.
Nice. That's cool.
I think all the projects I've been a part of have actually gone really well with everybody. So I'm like sitting here and I'm like, I don't know, because it all went so well. I think maybe just like the thing of realizing we're all in the same boat and having patience for other people in RAF, even like people who aren't in the same teams or are in the same teams, just to all like be understanding and realizing that sometimes they're not the issue, you are.
Wow, deep.
Yeah, that's what I've learned.
Yeah, that's cool.
I can agree with Alex there. I think it's just been cool to see that, amongst all of this, you know, like you say, media, it's like the media is not the main objective, you know, it's like just building relationship, even in our RAF group still with the team dynamics and stuff, just keep that the main center, and then we'll go well.
That's awesome. So let's talk about your guys' brand films, which is really cool. I think one we haven't spoken about yet is Tamsin's Wildflower Bakery.
Where we cooked.
Yeah, do you guys want to tell us a bit about that project? How was it? Was it fun getting creative with like the technical side of things? What were some things, like some technical things you guys did?
Well, we used the C-stand, and then we were just honestly trying to like DIY stuff, like putting the spoon on the camera and then that not working. So then we just used a bunch of different things, but like just practicing off only references was so much fun, just experimenting with different things.
Nice. And how was it working with Tamsin, and how do you feel like the project turned out?
I mean, it was really cool. She has a beautiful house, so it kind of was like very chilled time. Like we weren't stressed at all about getting shots. We just like went so smoothly. We could take our time, which was great. And it was nice. So we got some cookies at the end, some cake. So yeah, we all were well satisfied after that trip.
Nice. That's cool.
But it was really fun. We all got along really well, and we made ourselves quite comfortable, and we were just like laughing and filming. And it was quite like a fun thing to film because of like it's simple, but if you put effort in, it's so beautiful. So it was like, yeah, that was top tier memory.
Nice. Very cool. And then last week of term, we had Brad Marshall come. So yeah, Brad is a illustrator and a concept artist and just a brilliant visual storyteller. How did you guys find the week? What did you learn? What impacted you? Yeah.
Yeah, I think one thing that really I think stood out to me this week was just having again to have that creative mind, and even just looking at certain cartoons and certain movies that we looked at as references. It's I actually didn't notice that before, and actually having to dive deep into it and actually use my creative side of it and be that's everything that people did in that is actually super intentional. And I think it's so easy to sometimes just not notice these things, but actually looking at it and be they did that for a reason, and how I can use that as well. If I need to create something as well, for a reason, yeah.
I think what Brad's so good at is obviously we live in a digital world where content is so freely made and freely consumed, and it's just quick and easy, And Brad, I think, took you guys to look beyond, in a sense, just Instagram, and to look into technically what is theoretically excellent, storytelling. And it's sometimes hard in this generation to slow down and to learn to look at something with a high level of visual literacy. But how did you guys find that?
It was so cool seeing a whole new world of sort of media, and learning the what or why behind something, and telling a story, but then also just the fine detail and the why the art is the way it is. So that was super cool. But I think the best thing was him coming in and just being so comfortable, and we were making jokes, and it was just such a fun week. So that was so impactful, how someone would take their time to come in and wasn't there just to teach us and get the job done, but he really indulged with us and included himself, which is so cool.
Yeah, I think Amber said, it was literally a whole new world. I think I didn't realize how everything was connected, how illustration, you also had to take into consideration videography and the different angles. So again, it's a thing of I didn't know how much thought went into each scene. So it was just actually quite inspiring to see how much effort people put in, and how you don't even notice it, and you only notice if there's an imperfection, but when it's perfect you never notice. But I think he was also just a really cool dude, and getting to know him was fun, and learning just the tiny bit that we did, that we were able to do. I think it was a lot of fun.
Well, guys, term 3 is coming. And so in term 3, we're stepping out of more of the documentary space, the real world space, and we're stepping into the fictional space, which is super cool. So we're going to be writing our very own stories. Sure. We are going to be shooting them creatively, and it's going to be a whole different world. So how are you guys feeling about that?
My imagination is going to have to pull through I'm lacking in that, but
I'm so excited. This is what I've been waiting for.
Nice. Yeah. Molly, you just want to play golf this holiday. Shout out. Do you want to give a shout out to your YouTube channel?
Shout out to Unperfect. Go follow us on YouTube. Like and subscribe. We make cool content. All the content we've learned here on RAF.
Nice. That's awesome, bro. Okay, well, guys, enjoy your holidays. If you haven't seen Molly's golfing videos, go check them out. And yeah, we'll see you guys in term 3. Yeah.
And that is a wrap.